This video is called World Ending Philosophy. The real world ending philosophy. I was just thinking about, how this place, this universe will just keep going on because, where did the Big Bang come from? There must be a sort of cycle because there's a dissipation into the Big Rip theory, right? The dark energy is pushing every particulate apart, and so it ends in, a type of cooling and disappearance of matter, right? Because if you realize what we're in here, heat is like less cold. Heat is illusionary, and the cold is the universal state, which makes me think about the cosmological constant background, or the dark matter backdrop. I'd say the dark matter backdrop as a type of wall, a wall encapsulating idea. Now, I'm not saying a dome exists or that the Earth's flat necessarily. I don't want to go into that now, but it's like, it reminds me of the ice wall, and there doesn't have to be a dome because particles are physical, and when it hits the edge of the atmosphere, you have things percolate off like a fungi spore. And fungi spore, they can withstand the cosmic radiation and percolate off to other planets, right? So my idea was thinking about how, the edge of the atmosphere sits there, and if you study it, it's very interesting. It's almost like there is a dome, and they say it's from gravity and so on, whatever the case, but still, it's a type of dome anyway. There doesn't have to be a crystalline dome, which there may or may not be. How the fuck do you know? You don't go up there, Do you go out to, see? Have you been to the North Pole? No one knows this shit. Everyone's just like talking with other people's theories. Oh, Copernicus and all this. What if they were just Masons, just like the rest of this shit, and set up this fucking world to be slaves? You got to think about this. You're a slave here. You're always a slave to someone. I don't even know anyone who's not a slave to someone else in some way. Like, you're still paying taxes. You're still doing this. You're a slave to this world. And the true world-ending philosophy is seeing that this is a death matrix, right? From moment one, you enter here, right, and you're dying. Your first horrible, screaming, positively charged, painful breath out of your mother's womb is screaming. You enter this fucking shithole screaming in pain. So people calling this life, they're part of the illusion, right? They may not be a Matrix NPC, but they're still part of this illusion, and we know that matter is illusionary. I'm not going to go into explaining that. But, the greatest, monks, the greatest philosophers, the greatest shaman, everyone, the yogi, everybody who mentally explores this place comes to the same conclusion, that it's illusionary. Everybody. So those who don't come to that conclusion, I suggest, haven't made it to the end. They haven't mentally explored the universe, this place, this simulation, as far as those who have made it to the point that this is an illusion. Because it's a common theme in, like satsang philosophy of any any creed, cultural concrescence, spiritual movement, or so on, it always ends in that same shit, that this place is shit and there's something going on here, right? So I was thinking about the true world-ending philosophy is that, to realize that, this is an illusion, but moreover, the idea of simulation theory or hypothesis, right? I'm doing rabbit's ears because it's someone else's words, and that's the way we use hypothesis. Like, it may not exist, right? That's what a hypothesis means. You're thinking, hey, this might happen. This, like what I'm talking now, is a hypothesis, right? I could make a paper on this and maybe call it, holographic simulation theory or something. And other people have, I'm sure. I haven't read everything in this domain, but I'm trying to explore it from my own point of view, not just like read in the books. I've done 8 years at university, so I had a lot of time to delve into the archives, right, of the scientifically peer-reviewed journal articles. And I got sick of that shit because, like, you're not experiencing it. It's different. Like, true life, is not experiencing this world and what other people are saying, and that's that cross horizontal idea of information assimilation, which is soulless. Right, the soul path is, your inward path of discovery. You doing it yourself, basically. That's why I get on, as a shaman, I get on a lot of substances. I'm exploring this body, which is part of this simulation, as thoroughly as possible to learn this place, right? I don't find organic portals do that, right? They use things that I use, but they definitely don't have the same way or mannerism or style or habits of consumption. Like, people microdose psychedelics just to feel more relaxed. I don't think that's the correct way to go. You need long interval, high doses, and frequently enough to remember what the deal is, but not too frequently that you lose complete touch with this place, because it may, even though it may be simulatory and all that, it may be part of a greater, circumstance. Like, I'm trying to integrate the idea of, like, higher realms, and that there may be something like a god that is not the AI of the simulation, because that's definitely there, right? This simulation definitely has a god AI, and I've just been thinking a lot about that lately. Like,